Welcome back to Garden by the Barn. Thank you for tuning in to another video. Before I get started, I want to thank you for subscribing, and if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead to hit the like, the comment, and the share, so you can be, and then hit that bell so you can be notified every time Garden by the Barn puts a new video up. So what I have today for you, the garden crew, I got an update on the garden. It's been 2 weeks, and I want you to see what has happened. Right here, you check it out. Here's my grow trays. Still got some seedlings in there. You should always keep you some seedlings just in case something don't go right in the garden. It don't come out like you thought it would. You can always replace it and plant something else. So always keep you some spare. Let's go over here to the potatoes. My, look at the potatoes. It's potatoes gone wild. They even have flowers on them. These right here, you remember these are my son's potatoes? These are the Yukon Gold, and they really have done some growing in 2 weeks. Just check them out. We have the red potatoes right here. Their flowers are purple. Yeah, this is the 2024 Spring Garden Update. 2 weeks later, here's the raspberry bush. It's really did some growing. It's putting on a lot of berries and a lot of potential berries, as you can see here. Check it out. And once again, it's Garden by the Barn. Thank you for tuning in and checking out my videos. We got a little red raspberry down there. Got a couple of them coming in down there. Right here, you still got the strawberries. The strawberries, they pretty much still going strong. They still putting on berries, as you can see right there. We got a few strawberries in there. We got our russet potatoes back there. They only have a couple more weeks in there. I think they'll be ready to harvest. I'll be sure and get a video. I'll tell my son we're gonna make a video of him harvesting his russet potatoes. Over here, you remember the cucumbers. Last time on the first video, they wasn't even nowhere this big. But look at them. They're already climbing up the trellis. You remember those are the Market Moore and the Straight 8 cucumbers. Pretty soon, we'll be seeing some flowers. I don't think I've seen any flowers yet, but they're already climbing up the trellis. If you go back and check out the first video, you'll see they wasn't nowhere this size. You can see the little climbers, how they're wrapping around the string. That's how they climb up the trellis. The tentacles. So yeah, pretty soon we'll be seeing some flowers, and you know what that means. I got a little saying I say when I see some new things in the garden. I like to say we got action. So garden crew, remember, whenever you hear me say we got action, that means we got some things growing in the garden. Then here we is, we just stepped into Tomato Boulevard. As you can see, the tomatoes have almost double or triple their size from the last video I posted. And here you can see the bottoms of them real good, because I just did a pruning where I pruned the bottoms of all my tomato plants. And you want to prune them because your tomatoes, they need to get air. Check out the pollinator. They need to get air. They have to breathe, just as we as humans have to breathe. These plants have to breathe too. So if they can breathe and they get good airflow, that means they have a potential of having a real good harvest. Here you see right here, even have some tomatoes on them. So the garden is really showing out. just check them out. Just check out Tomato Boulevard. We have tomatoes. We got flowers. Remember, Garden Crew, we got action. So continue to check out my channel, because over here on Garden by the Barn, we ain't playing around. We got action over here. I like to come on and share with you things that's going on in the garden. Maybe you might have a thought, or itching, or craving. You might want to start your own garden. So I like to share the little bit of knowledge that I have with you. This right here is the sun gold. As you can see, the sun gold has a bunch of flowers on them, and he even have some tomatoes on them. They have a lot of tomatoes on those. These sun golds, they're a type of cherry tomato, and they will turn like a yellowish, orangish little color, and they're supposed to be sweet, a little sweet. I never ate these before, and I can't wait to try them. See, here we have some tomatoes on them. They grow in little clusters. So yeah, the sun gold tomato. I think the sun gold tomato is outgrowing every other tomato plant on Tomato Boulevard. Well, let's keep on. Let's take a look back at Tomato Boulevard, and we're going to keep the video going. We're going to keep on going. As you can see, you're checking it out. Those my Cherokee purples right there, they even have some flowers on them. So since the last time, we had a lot of things going on in the garden. We got action. You even have some Cherokee tomato growing on there. A lot has happened in 2 weeks' time. We've been getting a lot of rain, and that rain, we call that God's fertilizer, and that rain has just been causing these plants to just grow out the box. And we're just grateful for that. Here we is going to make this right turn right here on Tomato Boulevard. We're going to check out some more of the tomato plants. These over here, they're growing just like the others. Check out Tomato Boulevard. Remember to like, to comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll be notified when I put that new video up. Remember, it's Garden by the Barn. As you can see, as I told you earlier, I went in and I pruned back my tomato bushes, my tomato plants from the bottom up, so they can get that airflow from the bottom. You see, as you see here, we have tomatoes over here. This is another sun gold tomato plant. It has tomatoes on it as well. Boy, I can tell you, it's a total big difference. If you haven't watched that first video of the 2024 Spring Garden Tour, go back and watch it and see how small the garden was, and look at it now. Here it is. You see my irrigation. I ain't having to use my irrigation. I hadn't used it in a couple of weeks because we've been getting rain back to back. So it's been a blessing. I didn't even have to use the irrigation. You see that little plant in there? It looked like a pepper plant. I didn't plant it there. It just came up. So I'm going to see what it is. I'm going to let it grow. Here we is. We got the onions. The onions still hanging in there. I had pruned those back, but they already grew back. If you remember in the video, last video, you saw they was cut back. Now they done grew back already. The tops, the green part. You could harvest that part and make green onion powder out of it. You can dehydrate them. So yeah, everything is growing in the garden as we look back down Tomato Boulevard. I am excited. Garden crew, I hope y'all are excited as well that I'm bringing this to you. Just look at the tomatoes. I can't wait till harvest time. It was a little windy outside. It felt pretty good though. And here you have, I got you call this right here, Pepper Island. And here, over here, you remember I have the Big Berthas, and I have a few California Wonders. We don't have any peppers that's grown real big, but we have potential candidates. As you look, and you can see all the blossoming flowers on there. So guess what? They're on their way. These Big Berthas, you remember last time I showed you two of them was on the plant. I already harvested those. Well, but by the time we do the next garden tour, they should be loaded with peppers. But just look at how they've grown. They've increased in size as well. And each and every one of these plants are loaded with flower buds. So when you see flowers, you know what that means, don't you, garden crew? That means we got action. Here you see the California Wonder. It has grew. The ones that I grew from seed. Look how they've grown. To those of you that hadn't seen the first garden tour, go back and look at that video first before you watch this. Stop this one and go back and watch the other one. And you can see the difference. You see all those flower buds? Those are potential candidates for bell peppers. So as we be looking back at the at Pepper Island, we see that the peppers, they're doing well. So here we walking back down to Tomato Boulevard. We're gonna go and as you see the onions, they're growing back. And look over here. It's potatoes gone wild again. Now these are my Yukon Gold potatoes, and I tried to straighten them up because they were falling all over the place. I put a little stake in there and string around to tie them up to keep them from falling all over the place. But these guys have grown as well. And I think even mine's about to flower. All of them about to flower. These things here are about as tall as I am. And you remember these cucumbers, don't you? I planted these on one of the videos. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was my second video where I planted these over here. I showed you, and when I amended the soil, this was the container where the carrots was in. When I planted these cucumbers, they've grown as well. Pretty soon they're gonna be, as you can see right here, I made a trellis. You can't hardly see it because it's made out of some old fishing line. You remember I told you in the first video, you gotta use what you already got. And if you look real close, you can see. You see it's vertical, and then there are some that are horizontal. We're making little squares in it. If I get real close, you can kind of see it. You kind of see where it's squared. And this is a trellis where I made for my sweet potatoes and for my cucumbers to climb up on. As you can see, the sweet potatoes, they're already climbing up on it. You remember the sweet potatoes? The sweet potatoes was nowhere this size. These sweet potatoes, they have grown a whole lot. Look how they're climbing up the trellis. And pretty soon the cucumbers will be climbing up as well. So remember, if you want to see some things going on in the garden, check out Garden by the Bone, where we got action going on over here in the garden. And remember, when I say we got action, that means something is growing in the garden. You remember on the video I showed you where I planted these tires, these Cherokee tomatoes in these tires? Well, look how they've grown. I just planted these a week ago. I think it was maybe a week and a half. And you remember I planted 3 tomato plants in each one. I planted 3 Cherokee tomatoes, but I took one out of one tire and one out of another because they didn't make it. So I replaced them with 2 beefsteak tomato plants that I had. As you can see those right there. If you see that bright green on top of the tomato plant, that just means that's new growth. So that lets you know that they are growing. So we got action over here in the tomato tires, or the tire tomatoes, whichever one you want to see. Just check out within a week or a week and a half how these tomatoes have grown. All you got to do is go look back at, I think it's my second video. Go look back at it and check out when I planted them and see the difference between then and now. So I even have some new additions in the garden, which I showed you on that Mother's Day edition video where I had some new additions. I showed you a brief preview of it, and here it is. I'm going to show you more of it on this video, of what I added to the garden. Those tomato plants are really looking good. They're really looking good. So these are the tire tomatoes. And over here, this is the new addition, one of the new additions that I talked to you about. And these are the sugar snap peas that you saw on that, I think it was the Mother's Day video where me and my son planted these. And they have germinated. They're germinated. So we have action. We got action over here in the sugar snap container. And I like to call this container right here Old Pinky. One, because it's a pink color container, and it's been with me since I started gardening. So as you see, the sugar snap peas are growing in the garden. Oh my goodness. Look what we have here. Do you remember the corn? Look at the corn. The corn has got on steroids. Look at that corn. Check out this corn. This corn has quadrupled its size since the last video. Look at it. Garden crew, we got action. And look at the habanero in the middle. Remember the habanero pepper plant? Look how big it's got. Look at the wind just blowing through the corn. It's almost like the wind blowing through your hair. Garden crew, we got action. Look at that corn. Can you believe it? How tall that corn has gotten? Just within 2 weeks. I want you to get a good look at this corn. Just look at the aerial view. And here we have, I like to call this here Pepper Land. You saw Pepper Island over there. This is Pepper Land, where I got different kind of pepper plants over here. I got cayenne pepper. This is what you're looking at, the cayenne pepper right here. Look how big the cayenne pepper. We don't have any peppers on it yet, but we got blossoms. We got flowers. And that means we got action. And you see that jalapeno, those jalapenos over there. So we got cayenne, we got I know you see it. You see that bell pepper over there. But we ain't gonna talk about that right now. We gonna talk about these other peppers. We'll come back. You see the jalapenos. We got jalapenos on the jalapeno plant already. We got action. Let me take a closer look at these jalapenos. You see the jalapenos. Remember, this is Garden by the Barn. We got action over here. I know you keep seeing those bell peppers over there. They just said, what about me? What about me? Well, we coming to you. Don't even worry about that. Check out these jalapenos. We got jalapenos. Just check out. Just 2 weeks ago, we didn't have none of this. We didn't even have no fruit. Just check out Pepper Land. Ladies and gentlemen, garden crew, in a couple of weeks, it will be pepper time, pepper time, pepper time. We're going to have us a pepper harvest. And can't forget the habaneros. Remember the habaneros are planted right in the middle right there. They still growing. Remember I had them habanero peppers over there with the corn plant, and I moved them right here. See how they put on growth. So it was good that I did move them, because they wouldn't get enough sun over there. So here we go. Here we go. Since you couldn't wait. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, garden crew, let me introduce you to the bell peppers. Do you see that bell pepper? Look at the size on that bell pepper. Garden crew, I told you, we got action over here in Garden by the Barn. And we don't just have one bell pepper. We got several bell peppers growing in the garden. And like I say, they just about ready for harvest. I'm going to let them sit in here about another week and see how much bigger they going to get. These bell peppers are so big, some of the plants are leaning over. Look at that one right there. Check out that one. And don't think just because I'm zooming in that makes the pepper big, but these peppers are big. I just want you to get a good look at them. Just check them out. We got bell peppers galore. We got bell peppers all over the place. So, garden crew, y'all stay tuned for that next video coming. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be called Pepper time, pepper time, pepper time. Just check them out. We got bell peppers galore. Look how big these bell peppers are. We got bell peppers everywhere we look. This is pepper land here. We got several varieties of peppers right here in pepper land. We got cayenne, we got jalapeno, we got habanero, and we got green bell peppers. And don't forget Pepper Island over there where we just showed you Big Bertha. Those are bell peppers as well. Look, there's another one. You just can't get enough of these bell peppers. So look forward. The pepper harvest is on its way. And then we got new peppers coming as well. As you see the onions, they still hanging in there. Look, just look at it. Just look at these peppers. Get you a good look at these peppers. I'm excited, Garden Crew. I am excited. Just look here. We got peppers coming all over the place. See all those buds? What I told you that mean, Garden Crew? We got action. So, this is the garden update. The 2-week to this date update. Just 2 weeks ago, we didn't have none of this in the garden. What a big difference a little bit of time makes. As you see the onions, they still hanging in there. I'm about ready to harvest these onions. I'm going to give them a little bit more time. And they coming out of there because I got plans on planting some watermelon and some cantaloupe right there. Here you see the collards that has gone to seed. And as you see, they're drying. And so what you're looking at here is the future fall collard green planting. These are the seeds. And if the Lord be willing, I'm going to plant so many collards in the fall come. We're going to be up to our ears in collard green. Just check out all those seeds. I bet you each one of those seeds right there you see got at least 10 to 15 seeds in each one of those pods. So just imagine how many seeds I'm going to have. I'm going to plant at least 50 to 100 collard green plants. So right here you see the butter beans. The butter beans. On the last video I told you I didn't know whether they was pole or they was bush beans, but it turns out that they're pole beans. And here you see I've staked them with some bamboo stakes so that they can climb up the poles. That's what they call them, pole beans. And here we have the okras. We have okras in the garden. You saw the video where me and my son planted these okras. And over here you see we have added another addition to the garden where I had one cowpea there. Now we planted more cowpeas right here in the garden in the raised bed. So what you're looking at, these are the cowpeas. And they're just like a black eyed pea. I planted 2 seeds in each hole, so I think 2 of them came up in each hole, and I'm going to thin them out as they get big, and I'm going to just have 1 in each hole. But that's the biggest one. That's the first one I had grew. I planted them before they didn't come up, only that was the one came up. And these right here are the okras too. Those are the Louisiana velvet, green velvet. Those are okras. They slowly but surely coming along. They growing. They're growing. And over here, as you can see, this is another new addition to the garden where I planted some bush string beans. Bush string beans. Planted these from seed. You remember, if you saw the video of me and my son planted these, the Mother's Day edition, we planted these bush string beans. They've already germinated and are coming up, as you can see. These are the bush string beans. So as you can see, everything is going well in the garden. Everything is growing. Everything is flourishing. And I want to thank y'all for checking out the garden update for the spring garden. I appreciate your garden crew. I appreciate everybody else. And remember to like, to comment, subscribe, and also hit that bell so you'll be notified every time I put up a new video. Remember, this is gardening by the bone. See y'all on the next video.